Hello everyone, welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new year. Is 2025. Yay! Fireworks and sound effects I'm not going to put in. Can you believe it? We're already a quarter through the century. That's crazy. And you know what else is crazy? Books. There's a lot of books coming out this year. I'm recording this literally on January 1st, the same day that a brand new book has kind of been announced, but let's get into this. This is Warrior Cats in 2025, all the books that are coming out, and let's just jump right into it. In just a few days' time from this video's release, on January 7th, the English release of The Elder's Quest, the first book in the 9th arc of the Warrior Cats series, Changing Skies, will be released. Finally. It's groundbreaking for a lot of reasons. Obviously, it's the 9th arc in the Warrior Cats series. It's our first arc of all-female protagonists. It's our first arc of returning protagonists outside the main series. It's our first book of older protagonists from the get-go. So, it's pretty exciting. Obviously, I have seen the leaks. I have thoughts about them. I won't really get into them here because I think all of my thoughts will probably be said once I actually read the book, because I am going to read it and cover it as soon as it comes out and as soon as I am able to. But, I'm very curious. Are you curious as well? Well, yeah. So it's pretty interesting, and we'll see how it, goes. The next book coming out on April 8th is The Prophecies Begins, Volume 2, the second volume of, the Warrior Cats graphic novel adaptation. This volume should cover the latter half, or at least the latter main plot points of Book 2, as well as Book 3 and Book 4. Maybe, kind of, I don't know. It's weird. I am excited, but also nervous. I'm excited because I like the graphic novel adaptation. I think a lot of us are very excited and very interested in what this book could bring to the table. Especially with what it's going to be covered, like books 3 and 4 are good books. I really like book 4, and I'm excited to see how it adapts it. But at the same time, I am nervous because it's adapting a lot, presumably, and it could pull a volume 1 and push some of the plot to volume 3. But at the same time, I'm kind of wondering would they? I don't really know of much plot they could push realistically, unless they're going to do a volume 4, which honestly, one, they might have to, just considering how much stuff happens in later books, but also the question of why not just do it one volume per one book. I don't know, it's kind of up for your own opinion, but I know I'm excited. I'm interested to see what comes of it. Then on July 8th, the full color edition of the Tigerstar and Sasha manga will be released. This is a big deal, because not only does it mark the last full color remaster of the classic Warrior Cats manga era, it's also the last kind of work, albeit kind of not as big as as an original piece, but the last work of Dan Jolly as one of the writers of Warrior Cats. Now granted, this is his work from over a decade ago, so not that big a deal, but it does more or less end an era where Dan Jolly was a part of Warrior Cats team to a kind of contractual extent. Now true, he could come back. I love for him to come back. I think most of the things he's written for Warrior Cats is quite good. He clearly knows that what he's doing and to write very compelling characters. I mean, he's in the comic book industry. That's kind of their whole deal. So, I'm a little sad to see him go, but I'm happy that Tigerstar and Sasha is getting the full color treatment. And hopefully, even though it's one of the weaker mangas, hopefully it kind of gets a new life in this colorized version. Next, on August 8th or 12th, there's conflicting reports, according to the wiki and other sources, is the 18th Super Edition. The kind of tie-in Super Edition to the previous Super Edition, Ivy Pool's Heart, and that of which being StormClan's Folly. Now there was a bit of little drama on Twitter about Folly being chosen as the word. Not really drama, more so just like people making fun of it. I think it's cute. I think that's kind of a cute thing to do. But disregarding that, yeah, this is a big deal for a lot of reasons. For starters, it's the first time since SkyClan's Destiny that not only is the clan name part of the Super Edition, but also that we have two protagonists. Although, hopefully, unlike SkyClan's Destiny, where it was predominantly a Leaf Star book, which is like 1 or 2 chapters devoted to that other character. I don't remember his name. He's not really important. He's just kind of there. Unless I'm mistaken. But it was just kind of weird. However, this time, based on kind of what the synopsis is, it looks to be... Hold on, let me pull this up. Yeah, it kind of looks to be that Gale Star and Stripe Star will be dual protagonists in a kind of more balanced fashion. Hopefully. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, there was a little bit of people saying that, like, why apparently Stripe Star was more of a predominant, like, figure on the cover, and also the fact it reuses art assets. I mean, I have my own thoughts about why I think StormClan's Folly will probably be a little bit more of a Stripe Star book, because I think from his perspective it'll be a little more interesting, because to some extent we already have Gale Star's perspective, albeit it's a slightly biased and reflective perspective, so I still think there is a lot to be gained from her side. But also I think seeing Stripe Star's perspective, especially in his own words, about, spoilers for Ivy Pool's Heart, his decisions to leave his mate even though he didn't want to, and like StormClan being forgotten, I think that'll be interesting. I am concerned about whether this is just like filling in like lore stuff, or if we're going to tie into like the 9th arc overall, because I really don't want there to be a 6th clan. I don't think we need that. I don't see the point. But, you know, that's just my own personal opinion. Regardless of that, I'm a little bit excited. I think there is something cool to be had, but, you know, we'll see. We'll see. Then, on September 30th, as was literally just announced today, if I didn't check Twitter, I wouldn't know this, The Prophecies Begins Volume 3 will be releasing. Which is kind of crazy. I don't think any of us expected the graphic novel adaptation to be like a more than 1 volume a year kind of thing. I mean, it was already suspect that it was like releasing like, what was it, 8 months after the previous one? But this is just but this one is releasing, what's September? 5 months after Volume 2? That's crazy. That's insane. Yeah. I don't really know how to feel about it. It was literally just announced today, so I don't have any, like, cover art, but that's wild, man. That's just completely wild. But, you know, it'll probably finish out The Prophecies Begin. Maybe. I don't know if they'll do a Volume 4. They probably won't, but you never know. And, specifically for Volume 3, I'm very interested. Because one of the big things with the graphic novel adaptation, and just adapting Warrior Cats in general, is the tone. Specifically, the level of violence. And especially books 5 and 6, which would presumably be what Volume 3 would adapt, it gets incredibly violent. There's obviously, like, you know, Blue Star's death, Snow Kit's death, Brightheart's, you know, injury, Tigerstar's death, Scourge's death. There's just a lot of stuff that, well, a lot of it you kind of have to put in the book. You can't cut it. Even Snow Kit's death. I mean, you could cut it. I just think in the same thing of like White Claw's death, it would severely lessen the story to a point where just it would be infinitely worse if you cut it. Now, not to say the thing is horrible and tragic, it is, but it's intrinsically connected to the plot in such a way where I don't really think you can cut it. That's not to say you won't censor it. I 100% believe they probably will. But you can't cut it. If they did, I'd be genuinely surprised. But, yeah, Volume 3. Will this be like a new thing? 2 volumes a year of the graphic novel adaptation to kind of work in companion with the 2 main series books a year? Who knows? Or maybe it'll be like a cycle thing. I don't know. Because there's it's 8 months between the first and second volume, and then 5 months between second and third. Which is a choice. I don't think it was the artist's choice, but I don't know. It's interesting. And the final book, as of this recording, this could change, because again, Volume 3 was added this year, and who knows, maybe that's a temp date, maybe, I don't know. It'd be weird if it was a temp date, considering how soon it is. In October 14th, the second book of Changing Skies will be released, and I don't know nothing. We don't know anything. It is interesting, though, because it was moved up. For those who don't know, the last several years, we've kind of had a little bit of a pattern. You have one of the main series books released in April, so the second releases in November. The Super Edition kind of comes out in September, and then the graphic novel thing, whatever it is, usually comes out in June or July. But this year, it's all been shifted up. Obviously we're getting the Elder's Quest, the first book of Arc 9 in January, less than 2 months after the previous book came out, which is insane. Also, everything else has been pushed up by a month or a couple months, which is, it's interesting why this happened, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Although another interesting thing to note in regards to the books is that one of the longtime authors of the main series, Kate Carey, has essentially retired. She's stopped writing main series books, meaning the last book, I don't remember the last book of A Starless Clan was called, but that was her last book apparently, meaning that from here on out, there will be a different Aaron, presumably. I mean, they're not going to make Cherith write all of these books. I don't think they're that cruel. But who could it be? I don't know. Could it be a former Aaron? An Aaron that works on Bamboo Kingdom or worked on Bravelands? I doubt it'd be with Tui, who works on Wings of Fire, because she's working on book 16 at the moment, I believe, and other affiliated Wings of Fire stuff. But I don't know. And as far as other stuff merch, I presume there'll be more figures, maybe more of those plushes that people really seem to like. Maybe they'll do more revamps of their shop, new cool t-shirts or posters and whatnot. That would be cool. I mean, people really like the plushies, and I think that might tell the people in charge that, hey, you need to make quality product so people will actually buy the product. And people will like it and buy a lot of it. And it'll be sold very high on eBay. Just a thought. But we'll see. Other stuff includes, will we get any news on the TV adaptation or animated adaptation? They didn't really say it was show or movie. Probably a show. On the animated front, it's not coming out this year. At most, we'll get another announcement. Say, hey, here's some concept art, or hey, here's some people working on it, a name, or a writer or a director. But that's kind of optimistic. I don't really know if that's realistically gonna happen. But, yeah, that's pretty much all the official stuff. Obviously, there'll be a lot of unofficial stuff, fan projects and fan controversies, and just, Warrior Cats will probably be trending on Twitter at least 10 times. You know the deal. But yeah, that's Warrior Cats in 2025, as of the first day of 2025. It's a lot. 6 books in 1 year. Not a new record. I think we've had 6 books before, but very impressive nonetheless. And who knows? Maybe we could get a surprise 7th book. Maybe the field guide will get it returned. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. That's it. That's Warrior Cats in 2025. But, I just kind of wanted to take a moment of your time. If you want to leave, you can, but I wanted to talk about, my plans for 2025. Because, why not? So as far as what I'm planning to do, I am planning to cover, honestly, all of these books as they come out. because even I know you're saying, oh, you haven't read arc 7 and 8, and you haven't covered all the arcs on your channel. No, I haven't. And these won't be normal videos. These will kind of be my super edition videos where I do very generalized takes and discussions. I won't do a full in-depth ramble type of thing. It's mainly because there's a lot of stuff I'll be missing, and obviously on a reread, when I reread the book, I'll probably get garner a lot more. But it's kind of I still want to be up to date on the general comings and goings. And plus, I am interested in the Elder's Quest. Genuinely, the premise, especially with the leaks, I'm really interested to see what they do. I'm very intrigued. But beyond that, as far as my other plans, I do hope to finish Arc 2. We're 2 books in, we have 4 more to go. I also, optimistically speaking, because realistically I'm going to do Arc 2, but optimistically, I'll also cover part of Arc 3. Maybe the whole of Arc 3, 2 arcs in 1 year, that would be nice. But who knows? Who knows? I also, I'm hoping to do more, maybe gaming-centered videos, because the Persona video, it did quite well, actually. I was a little confused, though, because, I know the video is a bit different. It was more a themes analysis. Not really themes analysis. More I talked about what I felt one of the central themes were and how it the game kind of collectivized it. And also hey, you should probably go play the game, because I think it's cool. Which is why I didn't get into super spoilers. But yeah, I just think, just try to be more consistent, I guess. Because I was a little inconsistent last year. Hoping to fix that, maybe? Hopefully? I don't know. But yeah. Nothing super crazy. Try to keep things realistic. But, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see me cover other books? You want me to cover other books, cover games in a different format, more movies. I did the Sonic 3 movie. Didn't do particularly well, but I still enjoyed it. But what do you guys want? And how do you guys feel that we're now in 2025? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you all have a very happy New Year. See you all next time.